Hello students, today we are going to discuss class 8 Rachna Sagar book English literature reader chapter number 7 A ghost story. A part, state whether the given statements are true or false and also correct the false statements. Number 1, the narrator decided to stay in a busy apartment. It's false. The correct line is the narrator decided to take a large room in a huge building whose upper stories had been wholly occupied for years. Number 2. The day's work caused the narrator to go off to sleep immediately. It's true. Number 3. It was on 4 occasions that the ghost pulled away the blanket of the narrator. It's false. The correct line is it was on 3 occasions that the blanket was pulled away. Number 4. The elephantine ghost means that he was shaped like an elephant. It's false. The correct one is he was a huge person like an elephant. Number 5. The ghost actually intended to get the museum and the building vacated for other spirits to live in. It's true. Number 6. The ghost comes across as mean, selfish, and gory. It's false. The correct line is the ghost comes across as a friendly giant. Number 7. The ghost sat comfortably on a chair. It's false. The correct one is as soon as the ghost sat on a chair, it broke under its weight. Number 8. The narrator gifted the ghost his blanket. It's false. The correct one is the ghost had carried off the narrator's blanket. Now move to B section. Answer the following with reference to the context. Number 1. Why you poor blundering old fossil? You have had all your trouble for nothing. A part. Who spoke this line? Answer. The narrator. Number B. Who was called a poor blundering old fossil? Answer. The ghost. C part. What trouble was being talked about? Answer. The trouble being spoken about was one that the Cardiff giant ghost had undergone while haunting the museum at night. Second part. Think how you would feel if you had made such a fool of yourself. A part. Who spoke this line and to whom? Answer. The ghost said this to the narrator. B part. What request did the narrator make? Answer. The speaker requested the author not to let anyone know his secret of haunting a plaster cast of himself. C part. In what context did the speaker made a fool of himself? Answer. The speaker had made a fool of himself by haunting a plaster cast of himself when the real body, that of Cardiff giant, lay elsewhere. Let's move to C section. Answer the following questions. Question number 1. Where did the narrator take up lodgings? Answer. The narrator took up lodgings far up Broadway in a huge building whose upper stories lay unoccupied for years. Question number 2. Describe the atmosphere as the narrator climbed the stairs. Answer. As he climbed up the stairs, the narrator was hit by solitude and silence of the place. He was overcome by a superstitious dread and was glad when he reached the room and locked out the mold and the darkness. Question number 3. List the sound words that heighten the mysterious environment. Answer. Shuddering environment, answering groan, palsied with fear, muttered sentences, half uttered screams, swish of invisible garments, and signs and breathings. Question number 4. What did the narrator sense as he woke up from his sleep? Answer. The narrator felt a shuddering expectancy gripping him as he woke up from his sleep. In the stillness, he could hear his heartbeats. He could not stir or speak. Question number 5. The narrator was extremely scared, yet he was alert. Give evidence from the text to support the answer and statement. Answer. The narrator was extremely scared as he could not speak. His alert mind heard groans, heavy footsteps, and someone pulling away his blanket, making him feel paralyzed with fear. Question number 6. What caused the narrator to go numb with fear even after he had convinced himself that the experience he had nothing more than a dream? Answer. The narrator went numb with fear when he saw the imprint of a giant footprint next to his own in the ashes by the fireplace, where his footprint appeared to be that of an infant compared with the giant elephantine imprint of the visitor. Now, question number 7. How did the narrator came to the conclusion that the phantom was gigantic? Answer. The narrator was conscious of a huge cloudy presence before him, and as the clouds moved away, an arm, then legs, then a body, and the last, a great sad face took shape. This made the narrator come to the conclusion that the phantom was gigantic. Question number 8. The story builds up a lot of suspense even as it draws to a conclusion. It also brings out some humor. What aspect of the story can be called funny? Answer. The story appears funny when, paradoxically, the presence in the room turns out to be the friendly giant of Cardiff instead of a deadly ghost. Question number 9. Why had the ghost been haunting the place? Answer. The ghost had been haunting the spirit of the petrified man that has housed in a museum across the street. Since nobody came to the museum at night, it occurred to him that he might haunt the opposite place as well, and had begun haunting the place where the narrator had taken up lodgings. Question number 10. How did the ghost react on hearing the truth? Answer. When the ghost learned that lodgings he had been haunting a plaster cast of the real giant, he felt ashamed, and then a surge of absurdity gripped him. He asked the narrator to keep the matter of his haunting his plaster cast a secret, as he did not want to make a fool of himself before the public. Question number 11. How would you describe your feelings towards the ghost? Answer. I have full sympathy for the ghost. He appears to be at the receiving end all through the story. He had to haunt a museum at night when no one visited the place. He is unaware of the fact that his real self is miles away in Albany. He also has suffered the ignominy of learning that he has been haunting a mere plaster cast of himself. He is saddened to know that his earthly body has not received a proper burial. Question number 12. How would you call the narrator a brave man? Give reasons for your answer. Answer. I would call the narrator a brave man because he did not give way to irrational behavior. He was cautious right from the start and did not react at the first suspicion of something extraordinary. His blanket was pulled away 3 times before he became suspicious, and only when he had definite proof of another's presence in the room did he begin to panic. He was quick to calm his nerves and even had the courage to joke with the ghost and was pulling his leg about his haunting of his plaster cast. Now let's move to the section. Complete the sentences with the correct form of given words. Number 1. I did not want to disturb her. Answer. The contemplation. Second point. The narration was taking on a monotonous tinge to it. Number 3. His intelligence is a matter of pride for his parents. Number 4. A little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Number 5. She was fearful of stepping out in the dark. Number 6. People made assumptions based on their knowledge. Number 7. The greatest of the leaders had the quality of wisdom. Thank you. Now the chapter is complete. Please like, share and subscribe my video. Thank you.